about these bills that are coming up targeted at big tech. And I understand, like, it is frustrating when posts get taken down and they're completely accurate, but then other posts get reported and they're incredibly demeaning towards people or a thought process. It gets frustrating. I understand that and I respect that. But I also think that just don't use that platform then. I'm not sure there's a legislative issue or legislative solution to this problem other than capitalism. And so, in talking with some folks that represent community colleges, it sounds like this issue is going to go broader and deeper than anybody anticipated. So if we were going to punish Apple and Microsoft, suddenly we're not being able to utilize their platforms, which means suddenly we can't really use computers in our infrastructure. And so I don't know who else we would go to. I'm sure there's other people making computers, but I don't know how that all works. But those are kind of the two main players, right? And so if we knock them both out, what are we going to do? So while it may sound like a really interesting idea, I appreciate the conversations that have happened about that and how we can make sure that everybody has access to free speech. But at the same time, I'm just not sure that those bills are the way to go, and I'm not confident that there's a legislative solution to that problem.
Great, thank you. And Representative Wills, do you want to go ahead and answer the question?
Yeah, thank you. So I think what it comes down to is that right now, I'll just use Facebook, for example. Facebook and all the other social media platforms are protected under U.S. law, and I can't remember the specific structure, but 140 something. They're protected under that, and they cannot be sued or found guilty of violating First Amendment rights because they can't editorialize, is what the law says. But I think they are editorializing, and I think they are doing things that are outside the scope of that law. So I don't think that we can ever really fix this until the federal government changes the designation of these platforms so that they're no longer covered or protected by the editorializing portion of that law, because they are editorializing. I believe that the bills that are submitted in the state legislature right now are kind of band-aid fixes. They're quick and easy, trying to address a problem. Iowa has 0.0001% of the Facebook people that Facebook has, and so what we do, Facebook's going to look at and say, we don't care about that. You guys go ahead and do whatever you want because we don't care about that 0.1% of the population that uses Facebook. The issue that we've got to really look at is, can we band together with other states to do something? I don't know that the bills that are currently in legislation, except for maybe one in the Senate, will do a whole lot. I believe there's one in the Senate. I'm going to let Senator Whiting talk about it, but I think that one might have a little bit of teeth as far as removing some tax incentives. But I don't believe the ones in the House really are the appropriate way to go. But let's flush them out and see what's going to happen. I believe it's an important issue. I believe that First Amendment rights are one of our most solemn rights, and we've got to ensure that people have the ability to be able to talk, express themselves freely without fear of repercussions. And right now what's happening is these social media platforms that are supposed to not editorialize are editorializing and pulling things off and telling people this is not supported, or this is our fact checkers say that this isn't true. Well, that's editorializing. And so, my First Amendment rights tell me that if I want to say the sky is purple, I should be able to do that without an editorial coming back and saying, no, it's not. The sky is not purple. Fact checkers proves that it's not. That's my free right to say the sky is purple. I think that's where we're at, and that's what we're looking at. Will I say the sky is purple? No, I'm not going to do that. But I have the right to be able to say that. Now, I don't have the right to say the building is on fire, get out. All right, and I think that's where the First Amendment rights really come down. There's a very narrow definition of that. So I think that the social media can do some editorializing on those kind of things, but they can't editorialize when I say the sky's purple. So I'll just leave it. I do believe that the one in the Senate maybe has a little bit more promise. It doesn't affect our local subdivisions and that sort of thing as much.
Yes, certainly, Senator Whiting, if you